Hello, everybody. It's Heather Nichols here, and I'm coming to you from one of my favorite places, the Castello di Castel Borgone in Italy. And I wanted to do a little video about what if everything that shows up in your life is actually in service of the more that you've been asking for. When you are someone who is a seeker, somebody who is asking for greater possibilities, somebody who would like to have more, whatever that looks like, whatever that means to you, if you're truly asking the universe to contribute to that, to create that for you, it will happen. It actually is how things work. It's how the universe works. And when we get kind of in our own way and we think that, or we get in the way of the universe and we think, oh man, like I asked for more, I asked for greater, and then my life went to shit. We close down all kinds of doors because we really never have any idea how something is going to actually show up. And sometimes the universe is like, it just knows, it has such a greater sense of possibilities, and it knows so much more than we do about so many things. And we actually, we try so hard to control things into existence instead of actually being curious, having wonder, and like really functioning from, if I ask for something, if I keep choosing, I keep moving in the direction that I'm going, it's gonna show up. We add time into the equation, which makes things, when you add time into the equation, you basically add judgment. And when you add judgment and you add time and you get impatient and you think that something isn't happening, you shut down the growth of what's occurring, the seeds that have been planted, and the possibilities that are starting to show up. So instead of, if you've been asking for more, if you've been choosing more, and it feels like your life is kind of not working out the way you would like it to, or, falling apart a little bit, or seeming to be, like going in the opposite direction that you were hoping it would go, ask a question. And one of the greatest questions you can ask in that moment is, what's right about this I'm not getting? Ask it as a genuine curiosity, like truly asking, okay, so is this actually something that I've been asking for showing up not like I thought it would show up? See what you get, see what shows up, because sometimes stuff has to fall apart in order for you to have what you're asking for. Sometimes our lives are way too small, and the small life that we've had so far needs to go away, or small relationships or small creations or whatever, they need to actually go away in order for you to basically make room energetically in your world for the more that you've been asking for. And so let it, be curious. And when we get out of judgment of what's showing up, how it's showing up, what it looks like, what it's supposed to be, when we get out of judgment of everything that's occurring, and we get into the curiosity of like, is this the change I've been asking for? Is this the change I've been asking for? Then you start to see things from a totally different perspective. Your curiosity can be very healing for you. It can be something that changes you dynamically, and it can also be something that allows you to see everything in your life from a totally different perspective, constantly inviting more possibilities from the universe just by asking. And, I would say, like, I really started asking many, many years ago. I started asking for a lot more in my life. And I had to go through a divorce, had to go through a very tough time for many years. And it wasn't like it was, just hell that whole time. I mean, I had some wonderful things happening in my life, but I had a really hard few years. When I first got divorced, my children were very young. I was very stressed. But I needed to let go of so many things that I had created as my life that just weren't actually true for me. They weren't what I actually desired. And those things needed to fall away. And in the falling away process, we're not necessarily in the creative process yet. We're in the letting go phase. And in the letting go phase, you got to have a lot of trust. And but somehow I knew that it was my life becoming greater, and it just was showing up, with the tear down. Had to do the tear down first, before I could rebuild and build something greater, something more fun for me. And since then, I really have built something that is so much more fun and enjoyable for me in so many ways, in every way. But I had to let go of a lot at that time. And if you make it wrong, or if you decide that it's, you're moving in the wrong direction, you take something that actually is possibility, you judge it, you shut it down, and you basically say no to it. And what if you could just stay curious and in allowance of what is, and in the question, is this change I've been asking for showing up different than I thought it would? A lot of the time, that's a yes. And if it is a yes, ask to know what it is, ask to receive it, ask to perceive it, and to be aware of what's possible and what's showing up, and keep going. Just keep living your life. That's the one thing, is like, if you keep living your life, you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're going to have more. You're going to have the more that you've been asking for. I guarantee it. Like, it's not rocket science. You just have to keep showing up every day to the best of your ability, asking questions, choosing more, and receiving and seeing what shows up. So I hope that was a contribution, and I will see you next time.